Most DIYers buy the wrong nail gun. Unfortunately, it costs them money, bad results, and a lot of frustration. In this video, I'm going to show you which nail gun you should buy and which one you probably shouldn't. In this video, I'm going to go over the most common type of nail guns that are out there, and let's go ahead and dive into the smallest one. Okay, so the first one is actually a 23 gauge nailer. So this is more commonly called a pin nailer, and it shoots pins. These things look very much like needles and don't even have a head on them. When you buy them in a strip, actually, let me show you. They actually have to come with arrows to show you which direction you load them because they look the same on both sides. So what this is for very intricate molding, very tiny molding actually is probably more of the correct term. So this is for your tiny like half rounds and some tiny quarter rounds. This is not meant to hang crown molding. It's not meant to install baseboards. The one plus you will get with this is the hole you have to fill because the fastener is so tiny, it's very, very small, and in some cases you really don't even need to fill it. That depends a lot on the type of wood you're using. So if you do a lot of work with very intricate molding, this is something you're going to want to be looking for. It's going to be a lot easier than use some of these other bigger ones that we're going to be talking about. But this is the first one we're going to go over, is the 23 gauge pin nailer. Okay, 18 gauge brad nailer is next. We looked at the 23 gauge pin nailer. This brad nailer can accommodate nails from 5/8 of an inch all the way up to 2 1/8 inch. That is what is allowed in this Milwaukee M18 brad nailer. Others may have different options. Make sure you take a look at that, whichever one you're looking to buy. The reason I brought up the length on this and not on the pin nailer is more specialized. The 18 gauge is where you can start looking at actually doing some more work around the house. So not only can you use it on building furniture, but this is where you can now start running base. You can install door trim. The only thing I would be hesitant with this on is installing any pieces above your head. So like crown molding, I really wouldn't use that for this. But in terms of building bookcases and installing trim around bookcases, this is the tool for that. What this is not used for, I mentioned crown molding already. This is not a framing nailer. Don't be trying to drive 2x4s together with this, even though it has a long enough nail to get through it. But I believe that is common sense at this point, and I'm sure you guys already knew that. So the 18 gauge is where we start looking at actually being able to do a decent amount of work, either around the house or in the shop. But let's get into one that is even bigger, and then we have another one that's even bigger, and then we got the mondo of them all. So we got 3 more to go through. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 16 gauge nailer next. All right, so next up is the 16 gauge finish nailer. So we had our 23 gauge pin nailer, our 18 gauge brad nailer, and this is where we get into the 16 gauge finish nailer. So the 16 and the 15 gauge are going to be called finish nailers normally. Very small difference between the two. I will try and elaborate why I have both. But let's jump into the 16 gauger here. So this is actually the last finish nailer I have that is not battery powered, soon to be changed. The reason I have this one is this is what I used to install crown molding with. And I was not using the big elaborate pieces of crown molding. So this actually worked very well, and I felt very confident with the holding power it had. This can take a nail of, 1 inch to 2.5 inches. So really, I think it's not much bigger than the 18 gauge nailer. What I would not use this for, this is where you get out of the realm of being able to use on little tiny moldings, like mini little half rounds. You will split or just it will honestly either split, you will break it off where you nail it, or it'll just go right through and not have any holding power because there's not enough meat in the smaller molding details. So that is a big reason why I have so many, but this is, like I said, able to be used for base, doors, and now you can look at some of these smaller crown moldings. But this can also be used to like trim out bookcases. You're really not gonna run into any issues there as long as you're shooting into, I'd say 3/4 inch plywood is safe enough. It has enough girth there that you don't have to worry about it bouncing out and going out each side. So 16 gaugers kind of in a middle ground here, because we're gonna look at the next one, which is a 15 gauger. And then we got one more after that, but I also got a bonus for you at the end of the video. All right, so this guy right here is a Milwaukee 15 gauge finish nailer. This is one where it's kind of, do you need a 15? Do you need a 16? Is there a big difference? No, not really. I mean, you're only going up 1 gauge size. If I look at the size of fasteners here, you can go from 1 1/4 to 2 1/2, so it's a little bit bigger. You do get more holding power just from the diameter of the nail itself. This is what I use for the bigger crown moldings, or if you stack crown moldings on top of one another to make it like 6 or 7 inches tall, like some rooms are done. This is what I'm using. Using a stud finder and using this to really drive home those nails to make sure they're getting as much holding connection as we can possibly get. This is actually the newest nailer I've started using as a 15 gauge. I'll just go out and say, is this something that a beginner DIYer needs? No, this is one you buy later. So a little bit of a teaser there. Still, you do not use this to connect 2x4s to one another, even though it's long enough to do connections for 2x4s. The nail strength is not there. You can use this to trim out some door trim, some of the thicker stuff you'll be able to do. Base trim, I really wouldn't even attempt with this. And 16 gauge, there was no way to do intricate detail. This would blow it in half. So you would not use that. So this is a more specialized tool, kind of like what the pin nailer was. But this is one that has served me great as well. And if you end up building out your nailer collection, this is one you want to look at as well. So let's go ahead. We got the big boy to look at. We got the framing nailer next. This one should be pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and dive into the framing nailer and take a look at those. Big Mondo. So this is a framing nailer. What you will end up finding, the two most common angle sizes are going to be 21 degree and 30 degree. Now, what does that mean? So that is the angle of the nail as it is, it's called collated, but essentially as they're fastened together. So this is what a framing nail strip looks like. So that angle is, this one is 21 degrees. You can get some that are more angled. That is 30 degrees. I won't go into the specifics of that. For regular standard framing, either one's gonna work. It's not gonna be a big deal. You can get them with galvanized, ring shank, anything like that. This one is not going to take very long to go over because the only thing this is going to be used for is fastening 2x4s to each other, 2x6s. It's a framing lumber nailer. You aren't going to be fastening trim with this. This is what I framed out a basement in, a shed. It's pretty straightforward. So unless you have a framing project upcoming that is rather large that you don't want to be swinging a hammer for, that's really the only time you're going to look at this. There's not very many around the house jobs you're going to be needing this type of tool for, but it's definitely a fun one to have. And it definitely will save you a lot of time. So I got one more for you. Technically it's not a nailer, but we're gonna take a look at the narrow crown stapler. This one's just a little quick one, narrow crown stapler, just an honorable mention here. The only time I use this tool is to attach 1/4 inch plywood to like shelves, bookcase, cabinets. The reason being is you get more disbursement of the holding strength along the width of the staple, which will allow it to withstand any sort of pushing movement. So like if you have in a kid's room, for example, if they have books and they shove their books into their bookcase, there's a good chance that that 1/4 inch plywood could pop through the head of one of these smaller or one of these finishing nails. So this gives you better holding power for that. Not needed for trim or anything like that. It's a way bigger hole to fill. These nails have a smaller head because they're for finishing and they know they're gonna get either painted or stained over. So they want to have as little of a defect as possible that you have to fill. I want to address battery powered versus pneumatic. As you see, I have kind of 3 of each here, actually 3 of each exactly. I am moving towards battery powered. I have a Milwaukee setup that I'm starting to build out on the nailer side. So I have 3, I gotta get, as you can see, 3 more. But I already have the batteries. If you have, Ryobi has come out with everything. I've heard those are very, very nice. And all the other main brands are gonna have that. My biggest reason is I don't wanna have to carry around, there's a small little pancake compressor here on the ground. I don't wanna deal with that or a hose. Are they heavier? Yes, but I feel like that trade-off is worth it because instead of, so like if I have to, or if I'm doing a project in the house where I'm putting trim up, I can literally just walk out, grab this and a battery and walk inside. If you're using pneumatic, you may have to do 2 trips because you're having to pick up a compressor, a big hose, your nailer, and try to carry all that inside. And then you have to make sure you have enough slack on your hose to get to where you need to do the job. So my perspective, my reasoning why I am moving to all battery power, but that is totally up to you, just like everything else. So let's go to my winner and the one that I would suggest as your first nailer if you're wanting to get into this world of nail guns. Okay, well, 18 gauge brad nailer. That would be my suggestion because you're able to do some of what the 23 can do and some of what the 16 can do. If you start getting into buying just like a 16 or a 15 or a 23, you're more limited. Like I said, this one, you can get up to a 2 1/8 length nail, sorry. So you can handle most of your trim around your house. You can get the smaller ones because you can get down to a 5/8 inch length nail. So you can do some of what the 23 gauge pin nailer can, but overall, I think you're going to get the most use out of an 18 gauge nailer. What would I suggest after that? Probably a 16. And then I would get a 23 before I got a 15 just because I think the 16 can do enough of the 15. But that would be my order. So the 18 gauge brad nailer, it's a great little workhorse. You can find numerous different jobs that this will accomplish without any issue whatsoever. And this is something that I hope points you in the right direction, and that you don't feel frustrated or feel like you've wasted money or patience when you're trying to get a job done. So that's my decision. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for that. Please check out our other options for videos, and please don't forget to like and subscribe down below.